Oh, when you see red roses, when you come across red roses this week, my gorgeous Leonie, oh my God, you really need to pay attention to this. You really need to listen to this. This is a very, very powerful message. This is a very powerful sign. So this week, when you come across red roses, when you see red roses, you need to understand that this in itself, it's like a very, very important message that these red roses are bringing you. When you come across red roses this week, you need to pay attention to what was on your mind. What were you thinking about at that moment in time? Oh my God, this in itself, it's like a pretty much so a sign, a very powerful sign of a divine support you're actually having. The moment in time you see red roses, you also need to understand that you are being divinely guided. You are being divinely guided. So you need to immediately think about what were you thinking about at that moment in time. As soon as you kind of before you've seen these red roses, what were you thinking about at that particular time? Because I can assure you that you are slowing yourself down with something to the point where you are almost losing confidence about something which is absolutely a major part, like really major part of your life, of your spiritual journey in general. So you need to be strong and you need to carry on, okay? So this is your sign to carry on with what was on your mind and to not to lose your confidence whatsoever. You're close to something so big, one of the biggest breakthroughs of your life, my gorgeous Leonie, and this is your divine sign. This is your divine message. This is your divine guidance that you need to pay attention to. Indeed, this is going to be so important. Do not lose your hope, my gorgeous Leonie, because you are close to one of the biggest breakthroughs of your entire life. Oh my goodness. Also, my gorgeous Leonie, right at the beginning of this week, this is absolutely remarkable. I can tell you that you are really going to be surprised with this message and realization at the same time which you are going to have. It's to do with something that you've been waiting for a while now. It's to do with your hopes, but it's also to do with something that was worrying you for so long. It's to do with an aspect of your life that, you know, it was just kind of like, it's a lot to do with like you just waiting for the right moment, for the right time. This is like your sacred signal, for example. So this messages and news that you are going to have, you're gonna feel so happy because you've been waiting for this for absolute ages. This news and message is gonna elevate you because you will know that you are gonna be able to carry on with some kind of a plan, something that means to you so much. It's to do with your near future, and it's to do with something that as soon as you think about, you know, you feel so happy, you feel so optimistic, you feel so enlightened, let alone like how it's actually going to happen when this becomes your reality. This news and message is going to make you feel so happy because you will know that the big change is imminent and it's literally just behind the corner. This is such a victorious moment in time. You're going to feel extremely happy. You're going to feel like, oh my God, this is a lot to do with a specific achievement which you are going to have. It's to do with your own recognition, but most importantly, it's to do with a big achievement and victory at the same time. Now, my gorgeous Leonie, you will know exactly what is ahead of you. On one hand, you're going to feel extremely excited and happy, but then on another hand, you must not let this to put you off the fact fact that it is going to be like a bit of a hard work ahead, but that doesn't matter. The more you put your hard work towards this, the more of your precious energy you put towards this, as usual, the more you're actually going to get out of it. So you must not let that put you off, because what are you doing right now? It's not only your whole quality of life is about to change for the better, but at the same time you are gonna this is going to be so beneficial when it comes to the materialistic side of things, because you're in the long term, you are in the long run, you're going to be able to save the money. On another note, what you're doing right now, also it's important to mention that you are, bless your heart, following your intuition. By following your intuition, you're not going to be led astray. By following your intuition, there is like a kind of like, you will know and you will fully understand that you're going to remove yourself from dishonest people, from dishonest associations, and you're really going to stand firm by yourself and do your own thing and do what makes sense to you, not to other people and not to anybody else around you. All this, my gorgeous Leonie, 1,000,000% literally need to come from you. Because there is somebody who is very dishonest and very horrible and not a really nice person who you're going to kind of become aware of at around a similar time. But this is all going to contribute towards you even more kind of doing your own thing. Absolutely brilliant. And even more so, you see, like a couple of days later, there is going to be this person, and I do not like this person whatsoever. There is somebody who is claiming, this particular person is claiming that they're something that they're actually not. They're claiming that they're like amazing, incredible. This person that you're going to come across, okay, at around the beginning of this week, somebody who is claiming that they are who they are not, but you're gonna somehow realize the real side to that person. So somebody's mask is going to fall off, and once this mask fall off, you're not going to like it. It's almost as if you are going to see some kind of a devilish person behind some kind of a mask, pretending that there's somebody else. It's to do with somebody very strong and powerful. It's to do with somebody ridiculously confident, but then again at the same time it's to do with somebody who you knew all along that there is something not simply and most certainly quite right there. Why am I saying this? Because this is actually going to happen, and once you become aware of who this devil little bastard is, once you become aware of this devilish little person here, you know what, this in itself, it's also like kind of going to be so important, because of that person, you are really kind of going to somehow, through that person, you're going to understand how to speed something up in your life. It's going to give you an idea how to speed something up. You see what I mean? So on one hand, it is like some kind of a devilish person, but then on another hand, you are going to get to some kind of realization. I'm not saying that you're going to get a realization from some kind of devil here or a devilish person, but what is actually going to come out of it, because somehow there is some kind of element of something that you've realized through all this, that you've learned through all this, and it's not going to come to you almost immediately, but later on, where you will kind of understand through that particular person, something good is actually going to come out of it, and you're going to understand how to speed something up. And this is what's important, not what is behind this mask, not who this person is, not what this person does, but what are you actually going to get out of it. Almost as if like do you know what I mean, like a little secret formula of how to speed something up, something that is really bothering you, some kind of a issue, some kind of situation that was kind of left in the past, but there's nothing you can do about it. There was nothing you can do about it so far. Only now, with this particular unfoldment, you are going to have a clear idea what do you need to do, okay? And this immediately is something which you are gonna become extremely determined to actually do. Absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Leonie, indeed, okay? By the time you get to the mid part of this week, so beautiful, as somebody who is like close to you, or somebody who is, like maybe a partner, maybe Mr. Lover, do you know what I mean? Somebody like really, or maybe even a family member, maybe a great great friend, you know, but somebody who's like really important to you, who's somebody who's quite significant to you, is really going to, on one hand, give you some kind of a gift. On one hand, that particular person is going to give you some kind of a gift, and you will love this. You will love this because you're going to get from that person what you wanted, what you needed, and this is going to mean to you so much. But then on another hand, that particular person who is so close to you, it's also going to surprise you completely with what are they actually going to tell you. And what are they actually going to tell you? It's like some kind of advice, and you're going to be like, where on earth do you know about these things? You're not going to be able to kind of explain this, how you're going to feel. And this advice is to start with, you're going to find like absolutely ridiculous, but then, oh my goodness, this is where your soul and when your spirit comes in. Because on one hand, you're going to hear this advice absolutely ridiculous, but your soul and your spirit is going to be like, oh, letting you know that this is something you need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to. Well, this is how it happens with things that we don't fully understand, you know. We hear them, and even if we find them ridiculous, then half of us is like, ooh, fighting, and then, you know, bit by bit, we understand it more, and then we don't know where this is coming from. Well, this is when your soul and when your spirit is speaking to you, that you should most certainly not ignore this. This is your sign to not to ignore this whatsoever, this advice, okay? And this is a very powerful time of your life where, you know, some kind of stage is coming to an end, and whenever there is a stage coming to an end, a new stage is about to start. So this is why this is so important. And also at around the midweek, my gorgeous Leone, never mind the fact that yes, okay, you are going to be a little bit sad because, you know, there is also something that you wanted for a while here, okay? There is something also here that you were like kind of thinking about, like starting for a while. There is something that you were thinking about starting and doing for a while. It's still kind of not going to happen, but this in itself, it's really pretty much so to do with you kind of like dealing with some kind of burden here. So this is why you're going to feel a little bit sad, because you're going to be expecting a certain message or information or news, and then that particular news and information and message, it's kind of not going to come through and not going to happen, and then you will know, oh God, you know, you still need to deal a little bit further with some kind of a burden that you've actually been dealing with for the last 11 months. And this particular burden is something that took place within the last 11 months in your life exactly. And this is important to you because it's messing up with you now, because every single time when you're trying to relax and chill out, to meditate or whatever, this burden is just very, very strong. It's just something that is very, very personal, and it's also involving a certain specific person who is very close to you. But it is a very touchy subject, and it's a very sensitive situation here, and it's a lot down on you when it comes to like doing something about that particular person, and it's to do with somebody who is doing something to themselves that they shouldn't, for example, you know. So it's somebody who is kind of in a rather dangerous water for whichever reason, but it's to do with something that they have brought on themselves, you see. But you bless your heart, you're seeing this as a burden, not because you think that you're much smarter than that person, only because you're worrying, and only because this person means to you so much, because there are other people that are connected to this as well. But you are kind of like, you are having a very, very prominent, you know, very prominent part when it comes to all this. So you're gonna feel a little bit sad because you will know that, you know, because, you know, something is just not gonna be happening. But then at the same time, you know, this is a kind of going to come to an end by itself. You just need to understand that maybe after this moment onwards, try to forget about this and let things happen organically. I'm not saying that you were preventing this from happening with your own energy. Sometimes when we are like kind of too intense about something, we kind of prevent it from happening as soon as it could, only because almost as if we are ignoring our own spirit and we don't trust to our own spirit. So the important thing is just you need to let something go, and you need to kind of just start thinking about it in a different way and in a different light. And this is all what is to this, because in the next few months, there is going to be a really important message which is going to blow you away, and it's going to surprise you after this moment in time, and you will see that things kind of happened completely organically, and you do not have to worry about this. Bless your heart whatsoever, my gorgeous Leone. This is like so important. I have got a very strong sign and indication that you do need to drink as much water as you possibly can throughout this week. Please, this is so important. Drink as much water as you possibly can, because it's going to be superb when it comes to your energy. It's going to help you to flush out the toxins out of the system, and it's going to be absolutely perfect time. The more water you drink, the more you're going to re-energize yourself throughout this week. This is something which you need to understand. Very, very important, my gorgeous Leone. But also, on another note, I really would like you to take and keep on taking something like organic echinacea, which is going to boost your immune system. I know that I did mention this before, but it's important. So please try to keep on taking organic echinacea in a liquid form. I really highly advise you to do this. Very important indeed, because this is going to help you to boost your immune system, and it's going to be brilliant for any type of infections like cold, flu, and things like that. And in general, it's going to boost your immune system, and it's going to make you feel much better. When it comes to organic echinacea, just you basically take it I suggest to take it in a liquid form much better, because it's going to be absorbed by your body much quicker, much sooner, so therefore it's going to be more effective. And when it comes to echinacea, you do not take this all the time. You take it for like about 8 or 9 weeks, then you have like about a couple of weeks break, then you take for like about 8 to 9 weeks again, and then you take like a long break. So basically you just take it when you really need to kind of boost your immune system indeed. But it's brilliant for so many other things as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP. Only they can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous Leone, or not. Moving on to the last part of this week. Oh my goodness, like a big surprise is going to happen here. Completely unexpected. Completely spontaneous. In fact, it's going to be so spontaneous that you're going to be like kind of very much so keen and eager to go somewhere and do something, and then poof, is somehow everything is going to change, and you're going to end up doing something completely different, completely unplanned. This is so important, because you're going to find yourself like that on like a really sacred path. When I say that you're going to find yourself on a sacred path, this is purely because it's going to happen spontaneously. You are going to have some kind of a mini adventure. What are you going to see, and what are you going to come across? You're not going to be able to stop thinking about. Something is going to inspire you, but it's also going to show you the way. Like, oh my God, you're going to realize like a few very ooh la la interesting possibilities. Oh my God, you're going to realize few very interesting possibilities, my gorgeous Leone. And this possibility which you're going to realize, there is a one big mama which is going to be like standing and dancing like this. Yeah, baby, I'm here. This big mama is going to be so big that you're not going to be able to see any other possibility behind this big mama. No, seriously, there are a few different possibilities you're going to become aware of, my gorgeous Leone. But one specific possibility, it's going to be like so much more powerful than every other possibility, and that particular possibility is going to feel different. It's going to ring different, and at the same time, that particular possibility, it's also going to remind you on your past. remind you, they're gonna trigger certain memories. And when that happens, boom, 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 a reconnection with the missing part of yourself. It's gonna take over. Now it's time. You're gonna feel so happy. You're gonna feel, in fact, you're gonna feel so happy because at the same time, this in itself, it's also bringing conclusion when it comes to some kind of crazy problem and crazy issue that you've been dealing with. This in itself is gonna give you that much needed confidence in order to start some kind of a project here. This is gonna mean to you so much, but it's literally going to change your life. My gorgeous Leonie, go for it. You've been waiting for this for so long, and now things are gonna start happening and unfolding for you. And of course, it's gonna happen at a time when you least expected, when it's always the best like that. Indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Leonie, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.